I'm Zoe.
I'm Cam.
And I'm Summer.
And we're the founders of Zach and Zoe's Sweet Bee Farm. And we're looking for $150,000 for 10% in equity. Did you know that most of the honey that you see in stores has actually been processed? All of that processing takes away the good stuff. Some even add in sugar and corn syrup. Zach and Zoe's Sweet Bee Farm is taking the sweetener industry by storm by changing the way people view bees and honey by creating a delicious twist on raw unfiltered honey. No pesticides, no additives, just pure raw honey.
From ginger to matcha to beetroot, we take raw honey and blend it with superfoods all in-house, no co-packer.
We started this company by accident. 5 years ago, we were looking for a way to solve our son's allergies. And when we found raw honey, it was a game changer for Zach because it actually contains pollen, which has a variety of health benefits.
And we don't just sell our honey, we farm it ourselves. We started out with a few hives and grew it to a full facility that our whole family cares for.
The quality of our honey and the health of our bees is so important to us.
So sharks, who wants to continue the buzz and join our hive of busy bees?
Well, okay, so first off, awesome way to put it out there. I have a few questions. So one of the reasons that, bees or honey is good for the allergy thing, and I never thought about this until I was at a farm not that long, not less than a year ago, and bought honey from them versus like the honey I could just buy off of, Amazon or at the grocery store or whatever that's from like some big name, Big Honey, if you will. That's funny. Anyway, the point being is that, the bees in the local area have utilized certain pollen, right? That's local to you, which by ingesting it helps build up a resistance, et cetera, which all of a sudden made a lot of sense as to why having just any honey is not bad for you, but not as good as having local honey with the actual flowers and things that are in your area that the bees are going to. I mean, some people watching this right now are probably like, yeah, dummy. Like, of course that's the, like, yeah, I just never thought about it. So getting that local honey, I think, is really important. So I'm curious as to how, and maybe my understanding isn't necessarily all that perfect on that either. So I'm curious to see what they have to say about that. It's a shame that Damon is not on this episode because Damon is the honeybee guy. He has his own honeybee farm, I think in like upstate New York or something to that effect. So that's kind of a shame. Like, he's all about saving the bees on a big scale there. So it's a shame that he's not there to see it. But stick to the end, because we're going to check out their website. We're going to check out their social media and feature one of the comments from you from down below.
So is this all your honeys? Do you make all these varieties right here in front of us?
We do. We make all of our honey in-house in a facility in Lebanon, New Jersey.
Wow.
And we take care of 50 hives ourselves. And we actually source a lot of our honey, about 80% from local farms right by our doorstep.
How did you become bee farmers?
Zachary had horrible allergies. He was in and out of the hospital.
Yep.
We started keeping bees for him. It was a hobby for my husband.
Yep.
So we were able to treat Zachary within a year. And we saw that one spring went by, the next went by, and here he was with no symptoms of allergy-induced asthma.
I think you should tell us what we're eating because we're already chowing it down.
I wanted to add an extra flair to the honey, so I began to add organic superfoods into the honey. Beetroot, ginger, matcha.
Blueberry is like phenomenal.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks, Mark.
I think I've seen this. Has this been in restaurants or out?
It has.
It is.
Yep.
Okay.
So we're our wholesale accounts. We've been working with Macy's has picked us up, Bloomingdale's. I mean, we've had a lot of press. We've been in New York Times. 2018, our sales were $62,000. 2019, $135,000. In 2020, $401,000.
Wow.
And in 2021, we're already at $888,000.
Wow.
Woo! There you go. All right, before we're going to go any further here, that is awesome seeing that. I love the fact that they're from Lebanon, New Jersey. Zachary, Zoe, Cam, and Summer, I would love to come up. I'm in South Jersey outside of Philadelphia. I would love to come over and come to your farm, shoot a video, interview you, and that would be awesome. Absolutely. Just let me know. Hit me up in the comments below, and we'll make that happen for sure. Anyway, that is great to see the sales. They are very much on track, and I think they've priced themselves extremely well to go and get themselves a deal.
Wow.
You said you're already at $800,000. Okay, so break that down between wholesale, retail, and direct-to-consumer.
Pre-pandemic, we were 70% of our business was Chelsea Market, right in New York, retail traffic. And then during the pandemic, we had to pivot and really invest in our website, direct to consumer. And so right now we do 70% of our business direct to consumer, right from our site. And that's
Nice.
it. We're not advertising.
Okay, what does one of these cost, and what does it cost you to make?
Our 60-ounce jar, we make it for $6. It wholesales for $13, and it retails for $20.
How do your prices
Wow.
compare to the other honey makers out there?
They're a little more. Other
By
honey
what
makers are
percent
about
would you say?
$15 per about
16
12 inch, 12 or 16 ounces when you look them up.
So
but
you're,
there's
you're
nothing else
charging
in
about
it
a 25% premium?
because of this organic superfoods from the best
We
farms.
just got accepted to Target's 2021 incubator program. We're going to do 1.5 million this year. We think pretty easily.
What's going to accelerate you to that?
Target's a big
So
one.
how are you going to be able to deal with that? Because going from $880,000 a year to having one really big customer takes a real commitment in cash.
Yep.
Are you profitable, first of all?
Yes. Yeah, 23% margins.
23% margin,
net
so you're
income.
making about $200K
Correct.
so far this year, right?
You know, in my industry, we buy enormous amounts of honey. There's a huge problem with bee colony collapse,
Yep.
where huge
We're seeing
flocks
that.
of bees
Yeah, we've had a
have
problem
died,
with that.
and
For real.
bees are the #1 pollinator. If we lose our bees, vegetable crops, fruits, we're going to be in huge trouble. And tell us
Yes, there's a whole documentary about that, about bees and the collapse of them, and that's one of the reasons Dame is so big into the bees and saving the bees, and has his own bee farm. But so I mean, they have great margins. Now, one of the things is the scalability. Bees, it takes up space. You need more hives. You need more everything, and that's a fair point of looking at, like, okay, so we're gonna scale from 800 to 1.5 million. That this year, or I'm sorry, from 400,000 to 1.5 million. That is an incredible amount of increase the year over year there. And if you get into Target, all of a sudden things start to open up even more. So that could be very capital intensive. And I don't know that $150,000 is going to be enough to make the difference. 23% margins is good. On a food product, I mean, I'd like to see that higher. I don't know if there's an opportunity to maybe get the cost down, but because it is a premium product, I don't know. I mean, once you have the customer base, you might be able to inch that price up to like $23, $24, $25 and get that margin up there a little bit. Would probably be quite helpful in the long term, especially because you have a premium product.
a little bit about how you see your role in that ecosystem, and do you have a strategy related to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think us having bees is a differentiator, right? We've got 50 hives on our property in New Jersey, and so we do a lot of talks around beekeeping, bee health.
So this is so much more than a company. It's like a mission.
Yeah.
I want to ask Zach a question. Bees, they work very hard to make this honey so they can eat it. You go in there and rip it off and sell it. They don't even get a royalty or anything. They don't have any equity in your business.
They don't.
How do you feel about that?
Every beekeeper kind of has a rule. They don't take a certain amount, like they don't never take too much honey.
Go, Zach.
I see a future with you, Zach.
That's overfishing, right? Over exploiting anything becomes wrong. Overforestation, the whole take. I didn't realize that you needed to leave some of the honey, I guess, to keep the hive moist and have food for the hive. I guess that makes a lot of sense. They just overproduce and then you take the excess. So no, that's a great answer.
The challenge I see, though, is in the scaling. You're trying to just add your biggest customers right now, early in your life cycle. I think that's going to be more difficult than you're giving it credit for. Knowing what I know about food supply chains, it's one thing to get to 5 million, which, right? Another thing to get to 10, But now, all of a sudden, the complexity levels change. I don't know that you're accounting for the complexity level, and so for those reasons, I'm out.
Listen, guys, I'm struggling to find a role to fit in here because it really does feel to me like a family business, and I think it'd be uncomfortable for me to like jump in there at this stage. So for those reasons, I'm out.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
That's a shame to hear. I feel like Daniel, especially in the food industry, would probably be able to provide the absolute most help. I mean, Barbara maybe as a second, just because she has Pipcorn and I don't know, probably a few others in there that would, that she's had experience with working within the food industry. But yeah, Daniel, I really would have felt like, especially because he knows the importance of the bees. Like that's kind of a big factor there. And he could have been a titan of it.
And thank you, Mark.
or champion
My
of it.
biggest struggle is on the product side because I'm a person who doesn't eat honey.
Oh, wow.
I know that sounds crazy, but I actually really don't. So sadly, for those reasons, I am out. But I hope that one of my fellow
So
sharks
sweet.
is in.
Thank you.
That's
You guys
a
remind me
shame.
so much. In fact, identical to Wicked Good Cupcakes. It was a family business because it was always for their kids. And when they did sell it recently to Hickory Farms, everybody made millions of dollars. They were just like you. I like this deal. I'm going to make you the exact same offer I made them 9 years ago when they were standing right there. Zero equity. You have enough margin in the larger jars to pay me $1 royalty against the $150 I'll give you.
You're going to say that.
And after I recoup the $150,000, it drops down to 25 cents. That's the identical deal. And then we work together to blow up sales, as I did with Wicked Good Cupcakes. We ended up with commercial kitchens all over the country.
Yep.
And we blew it up because we were both incentivized. I never took equity, and when it got sold, I did well too. Everybody made money. I don't think there's room for equity because in the end, this deal's for your kids.
Hold on, guys.
So all right, so the deal is for the kids, but I mean they came in looking for 10%. I mean, giving up 10% to somebody of that stature, Kevin or any of the Sharks, is one of those things where it's another it's not the end of the world. I don't think that's bad, and I'm curious as to. Maybe Kevin bought in more or something, or they factored him into some kind of forever royalty with Hickory Farms. I'd be curious to hear about that. Maybe someday I will, if I remember, and I get to interview Kevin, I'd like to and have him here on the show. I'd love to ask him about that. I am actually friends on Facebook with, and I'm blanking on her name, Noonan, the Wicked Good Cupcakes lady. And I hope to get her on the show at some point as well. But, so I think I'm just really curious as to how that deal shook out now that he's brought it up. I didn't realize they had sold it either.
I have an offer.
Here we go.
Out. The Johnson Honey Company, but Barbara also.
I have an offer. My dream entrepreneur is when they remind me of me. Like somebody who started with nothing, that made a little magic and stayed on course and built an empire. So you might not think you're sitting on an empire, but I could see it as clear as I could see tomorrow. So I'm going to make you probably a juicier offer than you were looking for. But I need to have more equity. So I'm going to give you $200,000 for 20%. Right? But I am excellent at strategy on building brand. I'm an excellent marketer. I don't have to sell you on that because I have proven it with so many of my brands.
That is a lot to give up there, especially with, having two kids as it is that are involved in the business and going forward and stuff. I don't know if I'd want to give up 20% either. I mean, Barbara would be awesome to work with. If I was there, I would try to just push the dollar value up and try to get to either 250 or 300, because that would be. I'm not going to even try to do the math. I'm going to bail on this math too. But anyway, point being is I would try to get some more money out of it, because at that point you could, if you're either investing it to grow, because they might need that if they're going to get Target. Like they're going to need more capital for more bees, more everything.
$200,000 for 20%, Mr. Wonderful.
Zero equity because you're a family business. And that's
Pam, are you evaluating his royalty deal?
So
You understand you're adding like 13% every single jar you sell at the beginning. 13% weight.
You know why I'm coming over? Because
you're
things
wearing
can
yellow
sometimes be
and you
so
wanna-
obvious. Let's show Kevin what's happening here.
He's not
Who
impressed.
fits in? He never
Barbara,
wears a
I have no
yellow
interest in doing a deal with you in it. Well, it's a simple question. Do you want to part with 20% of your equity?
Can we huddle? Can we huddle?
We need to huddle. Yeah.
Okay, we can hold. Go ahead.
You understand? You understand
I
both
just, this kind of stuff doesn't ever happen. That's crazy.
offers, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Talk to any of my partners. I'm a different cut of cloth than Kevin.
Okay, can we huddle in there?
Yeah. Okay.
We love it. Oh,
So I'll let you huddle on your own.
thank you. Thank you.
20%.
I'll kill you if you get this deal.
I mean, who's going to help? Mr. Wonderful or Barbara, right?
I'm gonna try to push Barbara down back to like 15, 10, back either 10 or 15%. Or money up, but yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
The Wicked Cupcake thing was brilliant.
What a wholesome family.
Well, what have you decided?
We came in asking for $150,000 for 10%. Barbara, would you be willing to consider $200K for 12%?
15, I would.
15. There you go. Ding ding. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. That is not going to make at the end of the day, it's not going to make the difference. You know, a couple percent is not going to rock the boat. I think to get to work with Barbara, that's going to be super important.
We got a deal.
Yeah, let's go.
Justified, great.
Well done.
Thank you, Kevin.
Very, very happy.
We'll get you out the website in a second.
Congratulations. Congratulations. My pleasure. Can't wait to get together.
Congratulations, guys. Well done.
Congrats, guys.
Let me just say, Barbara's pants are on point. Super
right,
shiny. Gives
Nice
Shiny
job.
Heiny a new meaning.
Excellent job, everyone.
Even though Kevin had that deal with the cupcake business, I think Barbara's expertise is more helpful for us specifically. And I think she can really put us in those big retail stores. And I'm excited for the future. I think we made the right decision.
Yay! It's awesome, guys.
Woo! The only thing is, I would have liked to hear more from Zachary. It didn't seem like he got too much for having his name at the beginning of the as the first word in the name of the company. He didn't get that much. Zachary, I'd love to give you your opportunity to speak here on the show. So again, leave a comment below and we'll get connected. I'd love to come up, see the farm, take some video, and be a part of it with an interview. So checking out the website. I love seeing faces. I love seeing kids' faces are awesome, and they have a baby too. Oh, that's so cute. I wonder what it doesn't say what the baby's name is. Maybe if I click on our story. Anyway, they got some reviews. Superfood infused in your for your health. Raw honey, love it, love it, love it. So let's see if we go shop. $20, $22, $24. There's that creeping up that I was talking about, right? Getting a little bit more margin out of certain products to get that percentage up. So they're on Amazon here. Let's see, on Amazon we got five reviews on that one. Honey with Passion, 76 reviews. All right, cool. Reviews, I should say, not views. Smooth, pure. Let's see, product damage in transit. See, these are the kinds of things that always pop up, right? And I always like to see responses, right? Because it's not necessarily going to change the person's mind. I mean, maybe you can make it right for them, but it'll change the other people that, or maybe change the other people that found that particular review helpful. Consider this a review of Amazon, not the honey. Well, then why are you giving it 1 star at all? That doesn't even make sense. There's always going to be something like that. And that's, again, I think why it's so important to respond to negative feedback, negative reviews, and stuff like that. 6,800 people like this page, and 7,200 are following it. And you got faces, you got interaction. I love it, love it, love it. So I was from last year. So they haven't posted much here on Facebook. Seems like it's underutilized. Let's go to Instagram. 32,000 on Instagram. They were on the Daily Show, or I guess featured on the Daily Show. Yeah, that's so cool. That's so. I will suit up in that, and we could do our interview in suits. That would be so fun to do here on the channel. Absolutely. Look at the amount of engagement they have. They have a very passionate audience. But wait a second. So the Christmas picture from 2020 is 47 weeks. You guys are severely underutilizing your social media here, and yet somehow have 33,000 followers. That is, I mean, tons of engagement. Just you gotta get some more. Gotta get somebody. Maybe it's time to hire somebody. It was also Oprah's favorite thing, which did not get brought up here. I don't think it got brought up on the show. So anyway, I would love to have you here. Drop a comment down below. Like Olivia did say, not interested in becoming an entrepreneur at all, but I learned so much from you and enjoy your videos. Keep it up. Thank you so much, Olivia, for leaving that comment. I totally understand. Look, being an entrepreneur is not for everyone, but understanding more about business affects all of us, and understanding processes, teams, offers. If you work in a business, if you work in a company, it's better to learn these things from an entrepreneur, from a business owner, and enable yourself to be able to level yourself up within that business or company that you're working for or with. And that is what I want to see. Again, unlocking the super in you. I'll see you in the next one of these next videos. Take care.